Bandorama 2026. My name is Bobby Glynn. I'm the K-12 music department head here for the town of Foxborough. I also have the great pleasure of getting to teach many of the just over 350 students that we have here in the band program here in Foxborough. Bandorama is my favorite concert of the year because it's so unique. You get to see and hear and observe and witness our full band curriculum from our beginners in 5th grade up through the middle school and intermediate levels and into our high school ensemble, which is one of the finest high school bands in the United States today. So it's a really great concert. We try and at all of our concerts explain where we are in our curriculum by just kind of remembering what happened in previous concerts, but here you really get to see it. So I invite you this evening to really pay attention to how each grade sort of improves and develops and advances as we go, so you can experience the benefit of all of that as well. So without any further ado, please join me in welcoming the 5th grade band under the direction of Miss Greenleaf and Miss Hussey.
My name is Aaron Bush. I'm the director of the Foxborough High School Concert Band, along with Miss Hussey and Miss Greenleaf. It's my pleasure to welcome you here to Bandorama 2026. We are so fortunate here in the Foxborough Music Program to have one of the finest volunteer parent organizations anywhere in the country, the Foxborough Music Association. Through their generous contributions and continued support, this outstanding group affords us opportunities to work with some of the finest guest artists in the world, to play on some of the finest equipment, to play some of the finest pieces of music through commissions, and they are constantly supporting the efforts of these outstanding young children here in this program. Would you please join me in thanking the Foxborough Music Association. We are fortunate where we have a representative from the FMA here tonight. Would you join me in welcoming Miss Jaylene Hu?
Hello, welcome. I'm as he mentioned, Jaylene Hu, and I'm a proud parent of a 5th grader and a sophomore here at Foxborough High, both in the music program, and they love music, and I really want to thank Mr. Glynn and the music faculty here for really supporting them day in and day out, not just in music, but also to become better people. I want to thank you for all these students here. I know how much prep it took to get to this concert, and I can feel the excitement in the air, even just coming in and hearing you all warm up. So we thank you. We're proud of you. We're amazed by what you guys do day in and day out as well. We want to welcome all those that are joining us virtually. And thank Foxboro Cable Access for allowing this concert to get broadcasted all over. And I know there's lots of grandparents and music teachers that are excited that they can come and join and hear us as well. There is a lot that does happen behind the scenes to bring this high quality music to Foxborough. And as Mr. Bush mentioned, we are, the FMA is a volunteer organization, nonprofit, and our main portion of the money that we get is through sponsorships. So we want to thank everyone that's on the back of your program that has sponsored us this year. And if you want to join in, there is a QR code on there as well. But we want to highlight some of the other things that are going on. Some of the sponsorships do actually help support FMA audition scholarship that we provide. So that is coming up the week after April break. And if your students are interested, there will be an email that'll go out soon in the next week or so, but they can start preparing a piece, and then and they can come to the FMA auditions, and there are scholarships for music that they can earn through that. And we also have senior essay scholarship, and that is actually an amazing way for any of you who are not senior parents to help out. We are looking for people to read senior essays, and that provides a scholarship to an outgoing senior this year. Some other things, as you saw on the table out there, there are apparel sales. So if you're interested in Foxborough music apparel, modeling, you can definitely check that out as well. And our biggest fundraiser that we're working on right now is the calendar fundraiser. So that'll be coming up in April. Every day on the month of April, there is a prize, and you can buy raffle tickets, which will give you basically 30 tries at all those different prizes. So if you would like to buy any raffle tickets for that, our table will stay set up till the end of the program so that you can get that as well. So again, the FMA, as Mr. Bush mentioned, not only brings in to support the clinicians that we bring in to help work with the students. We also help with the pieces of music that they have, but we also just support them in general with concessions. And in a couple of weeks, there will be a MICA festival, which all the 7th and 8th graders, as well as the high school students, will be participating. And Foxborough Music actually hosts it. So a whole bunch of schools come here, and they work with adjudicators. And we are here to support them selling concessions and food and all that. And so there'll be also signups for that going out that we would love you to just join us. It doesn't have to be a big commitment, just an hour or two to whatever you are interested in helping us with would be amazing. Yeah, we just want to thank you, and I hope that you will enjoy the rest of the show.
All right, we're going to keep the party going. Would you please join me in welcoming Miss Hussey, Mr. Glenn, and the Ahern 6th grade concert band playing Walking the Planks and Latin Fire.
and the high school here. We want to say thank you again for coming out tonight. We know it's a long concert, but we really think it's an important concert for you to kind of see our amazing band program from 5th grade all the way to 12th. Hopefully if you had a chance to check out the program, we have a lot of information in this program, this concert, and one of the things I just wanted to bring your attention to was our 2 amazing summer opportunities we have here at the Ahern Middle School. The first is our SIMC, our Summer Instrumental Music collaboration. This is mostly a middle school band camp where we have a lot of different varieties of music that the students can experience. We also do some really fun spirit days, and we're kind of crazy and wild, and it's a really good time. And those dates are going to be 2 weeks from June 29th to July 10th. You can do 1 week or you can do 2 weeks. We do have a concert at the end of the 2 weeks, and we do have July 3rd off for, of course, July 4th is on a Saturday this year. We also invite some of our high school students to come and act as counselors for our SIMC camp. And it's a great way for our middle school students to get to interact with some of our amazing high school musicians. The other summer opportunity we have is generally for slightly older students, but it is our improvisation workshop, our jazz improvisation workshop. And that's a kind of a workshop for students to learn more about the art of improvisation. So we have an amazing middle school jazz band and a new amazing 5th grade jazz band where students are kind of experimenting with new music, and this is a cool place for them to continue that. The improvisation workshop is June 22nd to 26th, but we are working on seeing what time of day we can get that to work with all of the snow days we happen to have this past storm. So more information to come on that. I'd like to introduce our next group. This is actually our combined 7th and 8th grade students. Though we rehearse separately during the school day, one of the cool things about getting to our 7th grade is that we combine for a few of our concerts in the year, especially this time of year as we're preparing for something called the MICA Festival. It's a festival we host here at Foxborough High School where students are invited to play for adjudication. So that means they get graded on their playing, and they're awarded a clinician by a really well-known band conductor, often college directors, which is really cool, and we're awarded a medal for that experience. And that's coming up actually on Friday, March 27th. Hopefully our 7th and 8th grade parents have been checking out some of the information we've sent home, but we will be performing here at 3 p.m. And we'll be all done ready for pickup by 4 p.m. We're going to play 2 songs for you. The first is called Honor Roll March, followed by Arabian Dances. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Glynn and Ms. Hussey with the 7th and 8th grade band.
Okay, how about another round of applause for all of our Ahern Middle School groups tonight? How excellent. Great. So now that all of our middle school groups have played, I wanted to introduce to you our final group of the night before we all play together, and that's going to be our Foxborough High School Concert Band. I wanted to tell you just a little bit about our high school music program and the incredible students that play in it, if you don't mind me bragging about them for just a little bit of time. There are three things that we really hold as really important values in our music program at the high school, and that is that you can do sports and music. I think sometimes there's this idea that you can't do both, you have to pick one or the other, and we are really supportive of students kind of trying everything in high school. That's kind of the purpose of high school, the whole point, right? To try a little bit of everything until they find their thing. We do not rehearse every day before and after school. This is not something that is true. And also, everybody can be successful in our high school music program and in our high school band. So, I know that's a little hard to believe coming from a teacher, right? But I thought I would let our students do a little bit of the talking for you. So, we're gonna do the thing, high school students, where I say something. If you do this thing, I want you to raise your hand really high so that everybody can see how awesome you are, okay? So, I wanted to talk first musically and kind of get an idea of what our students at the high school do as far as music. So, can you raise your hand if you started an instrument or started with music in the 5th grade? Very nice. Raise your hand if you switched instruments at some point between 5th grade and now. Very nice. Raise your hand if you play in the jazz band, any of our jazz bands. Cool. What about our symphony orchestra? What about our jazz choir, jazz choirs? Raise your hand if you've participated in the All-State Music Festival or in senior districts. Really nice. And raise your hand if you do musical things outside of school, like Boston Youth Symphony Orchestras or community musicals. Very nice. Okay, so that's the musical side of their lives, but they have many things going on, so I thought we'd show you a little bit about that. So, can you raise your hand if you play one sport at Foxborough High School? At least one, I should say. Raise your hand if you play 2 sports. Raise your hand if you are a 3-sport athlete. Oh yeah. Can you raise your hand if you participate in after-school clubs? Very nice. What about AP classes? Anyone on the honor roll? Quite impressive. I think that deserves a round of applause. Very nice. And then this is a little more pertinent to our seniors, but I guess this goes for anybody. Raise your hand if you are planning on going to college after you graduate high school. Anyone for the trade schools? And is there anybody who's planning on enlisting in the United States military? Or already is? Okay. Oh yeah. So something that we find really important as the music staff here in Foxborough is that we're not training professional musicians, we're training students. Raise your hand if you're, I forgot one important thing. Raise your hand if you're planning on being a professional musician when you graduate high school. Yeah, so, and that's the whole deal, right? There's a couple students who are interested in being professional musicians, but the vast majority of our students go on to be really successful in other parts of their life. If they want to pursue music professionally, that's incredible, but if they don't, that's also incredible. They are super busy, of course. If they're doing all those things, and if they're on the honor roll and taking all these classes, then they're going to be a little bit busy, but that's, again, kind of what high school is all about. It's a really good practice for them to communicate their schedules and to talk to all their teachers and coaches and parents in their lives, okay? We really believe that playing music enriches the soul, and it's really proven that music is good for the brain, uses fine motor skills, encourages teamwork, leadership, and compassion for the arts and for others, all while being its own academic subject in and of itself. So, I would like to introduce to you the Foxborough High School Concert Band, led by Mr. Aaron Bush, and they'll be playing One Life Beautiful and Amparito Roca.
We still have a good time? All right. One more note for all of you before we play our last combined piece here. I would highly encourage you, either later tonight or maybe sometime in the near future, if you take your program booklets home, to look in the back of the program and check out the bios of all of our outstanding music staff, whether it's Mr. Glynn, our director of music, Miss Hussey, Miss Greenleaf, or myself with much more hair from back in the day. It's really interesting to see the wealth of knowledge and experience and education our outstanding music staff has. These people that are working with your children are some of the finest human beings and, truthfully, the finest music educators anywhere in the country. And their experiences are very varied, from their performance to their education, to the awards that they've received. These people are the realest of deals, and we are so fortunate here in Foxborough to have some of my closest friends and people that I respect more than anybody else in this industry. Check out their bios. I think you'll really find it interesting. How about a round of applause for all these outstanding students? We got one more jam for you. This is a yearly tradition. We're gonna play a combined piece of music. This will totally work, by the way. It's gonna have every single student in here playing a combined version of Daniel Buckvich's America. So let's give it a go. This is gonna go great.